Hello and welcome to part 1 of my Dungeon Boss Guide series for Shadowbringers. This video then will look at how to clear the 3 bosses within the first dungeon of the expansion, Holminster Switch, available for Duty Finder regular queuing or through your trust system as of level 71 and above when it is unlocked throughout the main storyline's progression. Without focusing on anything, let's just go straight to the first boss, Forgiven Dissonance. This fight, whilst being forgiven due to it being the first encounter, the boss has a few things to be aware of. The first is the Path of Light. When you see this being cast, your healer should be aware that this is a party-wide AoE to heal through that's unavoidable. Brazen Bull is the main mechanic of this boss fight, which gets added to as the duration of the fight continues. The first time you encounter the Brazen Bull cast, you'll notice that balls are spawned around the arena. These balls will force AoE lines to appear across the room. The position of the balls dictates where those lines will be. For balls that spawn to the side like these, we will find our safe zone on the opposite side of the room to them. At the same time as the boss does this, there is also a melee circle AoE called Gibbet Cage to avoid as well. You will see here how the lines cross, and a safe area is in this small quadrant here. Before the lines actually detonate, the boss will actually put a line right through the middle of that safe area, which is part of an ability called Thumbscrew. This is a charge attack forwards. To avoid this, simply sidestep to the smaller safe zones either side of this AoE line. The follow-up is called Wooden Horse. Basically, the balls are back, this time with straight lines to avoid at the same time as the boss casting a cone AoE across the arena. If you stay roughly where you were a moment ago, you can slide straight into the new safe areas. This mechanic repeats itself throughout the fight, and in the latter half can do it 2 to 3 times in a row. Another thing to be mindful of is Pillory. This cast ability is a tank buster, but doesn't actually really do that much damage to worry about. It's really just an introductory tank buster. The repetition of what you've seen thus far continues with additional Brazen Bull balls. Sometimes the balls are not on a side, they will be like this and in the middle of a room. This time there will be a safe zone on both sides of the arena from the upcoming lines. With the addition of the thumbscrew lines as well, it shouldn't be too difficult to avoid and power your way through. Thumbscrew line and cone AoEs will switch sides multiple times, so just be aware and ready to move. There is always plenty of time to get to where you need to be. The second boss is Tesslean the Forgiven. The tank targeted attack this time is called the Tickler, so if you're the healer, be ready to heal the tank through that. Scold's Bridle is an AoE attack to heal through that's unavoidable. This is used in one burst early on, but in the latter half of the fight, it gets spammed 2 or 3 times back to back, so definitely a time to use your AoE heals. Fevered Flagellation is where numbered balls will appear above players' heads. The objective here is to spread the balls out so that when the boss charges them in order 1 through 4, that you don't cause the boss to charge through another person to get to another. Spread evenly to prevent this in a sort of square shape. At some point you will see the cast of Exercise, and a stack marker will get placed on a player, whilst the room will also have 4 circle AoE spawn. The stacked player should come into the centre of a room, and everyone will need to stack on them. Once this fades, you will take split damage, but below you will now be a damaging AoE to move straight out of. And that's about all you really need to know. It's just a repetition and series of the same mechanics in different orders, and like I said before, the unavoidable AoE damage will be spammed in high succession. On to the last boss then. The last boss is what I like to call Mr. Licky, or I guess you could call him Philia. This boss then has the ability Scavenger's Daughter, which is your room-wide unavoidable AoE to heal through this time around. Head Crusher is your tank-targeted buster that does quite a bit more damage than the previous fights to heal through as well. Pendulum will target your tank with a sort of flare marker like ability. They should run to the side of a room. Additionally, at the same time, a proximity marker will be in the center of a room. Everyone then should go to the sides of a room to avoid both of these. After Pendulum, you will usually see the ability Chain Down. This will target a player with a red marker on their head. That player will now have a binding chain placed on them, which is a new attackable target. Other players will have to break that chain to free the player before the boss gets his new cone attack FFXIV off. The chain is very weak, and I can even kill it with a size if I want to. Once they're broken from a chain, avoid the AoE. Tapophobia is an ability where purple markers will appear on every player, and you simply have to spread these out before they explode to reduce damage, and obviously don't stack them on other players. Into the Light is a line stack marker that players will need to stack on to split the damage from this ability. It's best to stick to one general side of a room so that you're ready for this at any moment, as it hurts quite a bit if someone's missing. So the ability Fierce Beating is an important and main mechanic to this fight. Essentially, the boss from where he's currently facing will stomp his fists in front of him, whilst also smashing his tail behind him, whilst turning clockwise around the room in a circle. There are then 2 safe zones that move along with him, to his direct left or his direct right. Simply move as he does to his left or his right around the room in a circle to avoid getting hit whilst also doing your DPS. You might also see right and left knout throughout the fight. These are abilities that you might see where he raises either his left or his right arm into the air and prepares to smash the ground. If he casts right knout, be on the left. If he casts left knout, be on the right to avoid that damage. Once he does left, he will do right, or vice versa. If you stay in the middle and get hit by one of them, it will actually stun you temporarily. You can then get hit by the other and instantly die, so just move accordingly to what you see on screen. With the addition of more chain down and FFXIV, potentially another Fierce Beating phase, and a repeat of the other mechanics we've talked about, the majority of this fight is quite easy. Either way, hopefully this helped you if you were stuck or wanted to go into that dungeon with some basic understandings of every fight. Thank you all kindly for watching, and I'll see you all next time.